Hey everyone, welcome to Lunar Beaches Crypto. I am David, and today we're going to be going over Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin held $40,000, getting down to a low on Coinbase of $40,236.49. Now, this has been a massive sell-off from the ETF, bonanza. And we've had the lead up into the ETF hype that pushed price higher. Of course, as soon as we go live, we shoot up and then we dump. That's how this all goes. That's welcome to crypto. And now we're boring and sideways. Welcome to the stock market. All jokes aside, it was good to see that $40,000 mark get held, closing a weekly candle above it again could lead us to bullish price action. Continued bullish price action. Now, I do want to note that we do have this previous month low just below us that we need to watch out for. Doesn't mean it has to be taken. Not every single previous month low is taken. And especially in an environment such as this, where, it's pretty bullish. Now, my only question is, what is the narrative going to be that keeps this thing going? Because right now, the narrative is the ETFs were a dud, and price action, we've done nothing but crash $9,000 from this peak, from the ETF launch day. We've crashed $9,000 for a grand total of 18% per Coinbase. Now, I'm using the Coinbase chart because Coinbase is one of the primary custodians of these ETFs. People or the funds go through Coinbase to get their hands on the Bitcoin. Now, let's go ahead and dive in a little deeper into more recent price action. But first, let's lay down a fib and show that we had been holding that 50% mark on the total retracement. And then last week we closed below it. And then this week we're not able to get back above it. Now, if Bitcoin can get back above $42,230 per Coinbase chart and close the week there, that would be nice. But right now, I don't really like what I'm seeing, but that doesn't mean things cannot improve. Now, the red line right here, this is this range, this whole range right here. It's the point of control of this entire range. $44,000 essentially. So, my next question is, what is Bitcoin going to do? Is Bitcoin going to get up to the point of control? For those that do not know, the point of control is where the most volume is traded, the price at which the most volume is traded. For this entire range, that price is $44,000. And we are holding the $40,000 mark. Now, I've seen, on friends' shows like Piper Academy and others asking what's next, 30K or 50K. Personally, I think if we can get back above this point of control and hold it down as support, then that will give us what we need to push higher. If the point of control instead acts as resistance, then I would want to see a hold somewhere in here and to push higher and still get that bounce off of the point of control. Now this is on the daily time frame. This could play out much quicker than I've drawn it on here. So it's not about the timing, it's about the market structure. I want to hold the lows and make sure we start putting in higher lows. That would give me a little bit of confidence. Now, the problem with that then becomes this could be creating a giant bear flag, which then would lead us to, right back down to the 0.382 and taking out the previous month low. I mean, it makes logical sense for us to do that, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. In fact, one of the bigger ways to get people to buy more Bitcoin is to send the price higher after a period of downside. Why? Well, that's because psychologically people are like, oh no, right now, oh no, the ETF's a dud, it's not working, it's not happening, blah, 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 blah. The next thing you know, media, news, the funds themselves start putting out commercials. They start talking about like the positive stuff once Bitcoin starts moving back to the upside, and it'll really ramp up if it takes out that $49,000. Then the media will really start going all in on Bitcoin, and that is when we come up to the 702 retracement on the Fibonacci of the macro scale, and that is where also we would be hitting the $1 trillion mark for Bitcoin market cap. So with all of that in mind, I would be cautious of that narrative of, oh, everything's going to be fine because we're starting to move back to the upside, especially if altcoins start running up with Bitcoin. And I mean blasting off. I don't mean just slowly grinding up with Bitcoin. I mean they start blasting off. If the altcoins start blasting off, at the same time that they're hitting their $1 trillion market cap for the whole altcoin market, same time that Bitcoin's hitting its $1 trillion market cap on its market, that could be a sign of disaster, especially if there's a bunch of euphoria behind it. Now, the next coming weeks are going to be very important. We've got to get above that point of control and hold it, and then we've got to break that high, that range high, the local top. We've got to get above that to even think about being bullish again. But then, again, we have to get through that $1 trillion mark. So it all becomes a question of, what is your time horizon? What is your risk tolerance? Right now, $40,000 for me, this whole area is a good place to buy. Why? Because I see a bunch of buys happening in this area. Fall below it, set your stop loss, right? So if you fall below it, you can get out of your position, and then you can come back down and buy the next level. Okay? Set your stop loss. If it takes it out, then you come down and you buy your next level, which would be probably right here around 32K, which a lot of people are eyeing that, and I see why, because that was a previous high that we would want to see turned into resistance. So as we break out of it here, you see we have this massive displacement candle, meaning high volume candle, to break us out of this massive range here. It would not be shocking at all for us to break out of that and come back down to back test That is what a lot of people are eyeing up. Now, I honestly would not be surprised that this whole everything is doom and gloom. Notice how quickly the market sentiment shifts. We start off with we're getting ETFs. Oh my God, we're getting ETFs. Then we get, are we going to get them? Are we going to get them? Then we get, yep, they're for sure going to come. And then they launch, and then we get dumped, and immediately half the market, shifts. And they say 25%, that's half of the market shifts from being bearish to overly bearish. A quarter of that is sitting there yelling at you, telling you they were right the whole time. And then the other half, the bullish half, half of that is questioning whether or not they should be as bullish as they are. And then the other half is saying, I'm just buying the dip, don't trip, right? So it's all about your perspective, and it's about your own personal risk tolerance and your own personal time horizon. Because in the end, if you believe that Bitcoin and crypto is going to be successful, is going to continue to be successful, because we are over a decade now into this industry with Bitcoin specifically, and we're still here. Now, the problem is we have existed only in a macro, broader economy, broader markets, bullish environment. What happens if that is to turn? That's the big question. Will people see Bitcoin as the flight to safety, or will they see it as something that they need to get rid of so that they have cash? That's going to be the biggest question, I believe, moving forward when it comes to the adoption of Bitcoin and crypto. The masses have got to believe that in crypto. Now, the Bitcoin ETF is that first step in getting the masses to start thinking about Bitcoin and crypto being legitimate. So, as much as we all love to hate on Gary Gensler, we have to say thank you to the judge that shot him down in court in the grayscale ruling and said, you have to approve these ETFs. You thought I was going to say we have to thank Gary. Gary was just following the law. He had to say it. He had to approve. He knew he would get sued if he didn't. But anyway, short-term price action, got to get above that point of control, $44,000. That's what we're looking at. That's what I'm looking at. I thought I had a different point of control the other day, so let me go ahead and pull this range. All right, so that's the value area high. It's not the point of control. Our point of control is down here at $42,750, essentially. So now that we have that, now we have our value area high at $44,000. This is why I checked, because I didn't think that was I didn't remember that being the point of control. And now, if you didn't watch this entire video, you think 44,000 was the point of control. So congratulations, you played yourself for not watching the whole video. All jokes aside, we did close above that value area low of this range. However, you can see that when we popped out of the value area, we came right back into it. So that is also why getting above that point of control is so significant, that being the actual price of about $42,700, $42,750, give or take. So that is where we want to see a pullback to, I would like to see us come up, break this high here, get a pullback, hold on the point of control, and then shift higher, come back down, hold on top of the value area high, and then continue higher. That is what we are looking for. And with all these wicks, all down here, saying, hey, we've got support, we've got buyers down here. Let's see if we can get some buyers for higher prices. Because there's a lot of buyers down here. We need to see if we can get any buyers at higher prices. Stock guys have already lost 20% on their initial Bitcoin investment. Congratulations, you played yourselves. Now, those of us that have been in it for a while, it doesn't really matter to us. We're happy regardless. But anyway, we see this as a buy the dip opportunity. Meanwhile, you have Peter Schiff screaming on X how in the stock market a 20% dip means a recession and it's bad for the asset. And we're like, the 20% dip? What is it, Tuesday? You know what I mean? Anyways, so let's get above that point of control. I'm not going to go back and edit this video, so I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But we did hold, so would like to see price continue higher. And it's looking good. We can look at the RSI on the 4-hour. Would like to get above that 50 percentile level. Now, I know a lot of you are like, RSI? Why are we not looking at the market cipher B? Well, we've got a 4-hour green dot on that, and we've got our money flow still in the red. Our VWAP is above the 0 line, so it is showing that we can push higher. This is what we want to see. We want to see this round off. Is this thing going to draw? Is it going to draw? Did I lose internet? What happened? Can you not draw? Are you drunk? Did I add too much? Are you okay? Okay, there it is right there. Uh-oh. So we take the market cipher B, and what we want to see is that flip. Okay? Now what's probably going to happen is our money flow is going to stay kind of steady and start to rotate to the upside. Our 4-hour momentum wave will come back, dip back down, and then, hopefully we get that money flow crossover into the red, or into the green rather, and our VWAP comes snapping right back with it, and everything goes at the exact same time, and that is what we look for. Get above that point of control, and everything goes at the exact same time. That is what we look for, and then we get above that 44K, hold that for support, and continue higher. So yeah, that's a little update from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit me up in the comments down below. Tell me if there's any coins or any indicators or anything of the sort that you want me to look at, and I will be happy to do that. Also, I am going to be starting a morning show starting this Monday, January 22nd, 2024, 6:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. I know it's early, but I'm doing it before I go to work. It's going to be a 30-minute show, and, it's just a way for me to put out more content and also get ahead of the day before it even happens. You know what I mean? So we can kind of see where there's been liquidity runs, where there is potential for liquidity runs, all that good jazz. See what London and Asia did overnight, and then, hey, make some plays. Go over some news maybe, and that'll be it. But for now, I give you this video, and hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to don't forget to use a stop loss. Be mindful of your risk. Be mindful of your risk tolerance, and be consistent. That is how you catch these waves, and that is how you're able to stay up on your board. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.